Hello everyone and welcome to the unboxing of the ENGWE Engine Pro model. It became a tradition when I get a new engine bike. I first don't go out and review it. I actually going to not unbox it because it's out of the box, but I'm going to set up it and unpack it, and I'm going to show you how to properly set up the bike first time when you get it. So this is kind of an unboxing, get used to the product video, after which the full review will come. So to make this easy, I'm going to try to use only the provided tools that ENGWE has included, but you are going to need a scissor or maybe a cutter. I'm going to use the scissors, and hopefully, as you can see, the bike kind of stays in equilibrium without having the kickstand put on the ground, and it's not folded, so it's in a normal position. It stays in equilibrium on the front suspension absorber there. So it's a good idea first to take the front wheel off, which is held with zip ties on the frame, because this kind of messes up the stability. And now the bike still stands like that, so you don't need a special stand, but you can also put this on a side. And now I'm going to take this off, and this, so the frame is already revealed, the seat post which is put there. Careful with the scissor or the cutter not to actually scratch the paint or cut some wires, because there are a lot of wires around the frame. So if you are cutting these here, they go through next to the brake light. So you also have here the brake hose, so take care with that when you are taking them off, because you don't want to scratch the new paintwork. And also these ones. Alright, so the packaging is off, and before we start putting the parts back onto the bike, let's take a quick look at the accessories, because in the box you are going to get several things. So we get this plastic bag with the manual, and typically, like all the ENGWE e-bikes, the manual comes very crumpled. It's not an issue because it's not damaged, you can read it. It has a lot of information here. Also you get a manual for the new display, because this bike has a new Digitech display that has a lot more different functions or other functions, or we're going to see that in another video. But this also has colors and pretty lights. Alright, then we are going to get the pedals, and they have changed the pedals. Let's take a quick look at them, and they are metal pedals, very sturdy ones, very solid. So this is also metal, it's an alloy or something, and they are also foldable, but they are really solid. So no longer a combination of plastic and alloy, and they no longer have the mechanism that could get dirt inside and lock them. And it's matching pair, and they also come with a manual. The pedals are Wellgo brand, and they give you instructions how to actually fit them, because you know that they have different thread. One goes in one direction, the other one is has reverse thread. It shows you here how to push the pedal, how to fold it, what to do and not to do. Alright, let's move on further. We get some washers here. We are going to check those, where they go and what they do. The tool bag, where we get several things. Hex key, another hex key, the third hex key, some other spanners with various sizes, and of course the dual screwdriver. This is the handle. You can put this, it's now a cross screwdriver or Phillips, and a flat screwdriver. You are also going to get an adapter for the charger. The charger is here in the box. Let's take a quick look at that also. So it's not the regular charger that you get on cheap bikes, because this actually is cooler here, so this has a fan. It's a lot better because these chargers heat up a lot, and this is a 48 volt battery, so usually 48 volts chargers get really hot when they work, so with the cooler it's a lot more better. It's going to do a bit of noise, but it's better that way. Also, it has 3 amp charging current, so this is also a bit faster than regular chargers that you get on other bikes. Then of course the steering stem. I'm going to talk about this in another video. I'm going to do a dedicated video because this has also a neat trick, and they did a big upgrade on this part. And of course the saddle. Also, if you are wondering with the washers what they do, the washers actually fit here on the pedal, so put a washer on each side when you are installing the pedal. And now I'm going to install the steering stem. For this, I highly recommend you checking out this video that I'm going to link here somewhere. That's going to explain you more about this system and how to properly install and adjust them. For now, I'm just going to take this cap off. I'm going to take this adapter out, and with the provided hex key, I'm also going to check that these screws are loosened up. Then I'm going to insert this over here. Alright, I'm going to check that it has the correct position, that is leaned forward, something like that. Then I'm going to put this cap back with the screw. I'm not going to make it very tight. I'm just going to check that it no longer has a play here and here by putting the hand and moving the bike a bit, so it doesn't have there any kind of play, but don't overdo it. And after that, I'm also going to start putting this back in, but I'm not going to overdo it, because when I install the handlebar, I want to be sure that this is going to be perfectly straight. So I'm going to check after I put the wheel that the handlebar is also in a correct position, and after that I'm going to tighten up these two in the final position. To install the handlebar, you are going to use the hex key. Take this cap off, it has 2 screws. Then you are going to keep them closed because you are going to reuse them just in a few moments. And then the handlebar goes in something like that, and you are going to put those parts back. So this goes back in, and also the screws are going to get back in. There are several ways that you can complete this without overcomplicating yourself. This is rather easy to be twisted, the display, so you can adjust the position. You can put it a bit further. Also, when you are putting the screws, tighten up not entirely the first screw, but wind it up a few more times. Then just rotate the handlebar in the correct position, and then use this screw that you still have access to it, and make this tight enough so that it holds the handlebar. Also move the display a bit further so you don't scratch it while you are doing this operation, and after that you can actually put the display over it. That's the best way to do it, so you don't have to disassemble the display to put on the screws here. Now we are going to install the front wheel, but to do that first we need to take the protection shaft out. For that you have an included key that works, so a wrench. You are going to loosen this up, and then we are going to take that and we are going to put the wheel. Now going back to the wheel has one nut here, one washer, another nut. Don't use that nut, the internal nut here with the other one on this side. Keep the shaft centered and it's adjusted so that the bearings inside the wheel don't have any kind of play. So don't use that. Only use the external one and the external washer. Also check that these are tightened enough so that the shaft will spin freely but doesn't have any kind of play. You need to check that, because otherwise if there is too loose you are going to have play in the bearing and you are going to damage the bearing, but that's actually your fault because you haven't checked that out. Also this part here is very greasy, so use something, a napkin or anything else, a rag, when you take this out so you do not mess everything up. And don't get all that oily and Vaseline on your hands. And it's now out, and exactly as I was telling you, that's why you use a napkin. To install the wheel, make sure that these nuts are as out as they go. Also the same for the washers. You can even take them off if you want to, and then just lift the bike and make those go over that way. Also be sure that the front brake pads are not touching themselves, because the brake lever can be pressed accidentally in the box or by you, and that puts the brake pads very close, so the disc brake will not go through the pads, so you need to push them back in. Also when you put the screws here, the order is that the nuts and the washers need to be on the outside, while the other counter nuts are on the inside. Don't put the washer inside, so it's gonna to be outside. Washer and nut on the other side, it's the same way. When you are sure that the wheel has entered the fork correctly on both sides and it's at maximum, then use the provided tools to tighten them up from the both sides. Now let's install the pedals. You know that they have different kind of threads, so on the left part of the bike, as you stay on it, it's going to be this way. It's like taking a screw out, so it's reverse clockwise. You need to be careful when you are putting this in. It must go very easy inside, otherwise if it's not going in you risk of cross-threading it. And then when it's on position you can help yourself with the provided tools, but it should go actually with the hand almost entirely in, so that's a sign that you have not cross-threaded it. And then just make sure that it's in the correct position and tighten it up a bit, and that should be enough. Then the same on the other side. Here is the same thing, so Now the thread is normal clockwise, it's not reverse clockwise. Again, it goes in just by using your fingers, your hand. So we know that it's not cross-threaded. And now, because it's in correct position, I can make sure that it's tightened up properly. Also, don't forget to put the washers there. I actually shown you that I have installed the pedal without this, so put also the washers. The washers are actually optional. The role of them is actually to enable you to make this a bit more tight, and through time it should somehow prevent the pedal from getting loose and wobbling. So you can try with them or without them. It's not a mistake not to use them, but if they are included and they recommend you to use them, use them. The seat post is very easy to install. You have this protective cap, open the clamp, you have this nice nylon insert that makes the seat post not scratch itself so much. Be sure to adjust this, loosen it up so this goes in easy. And that's okay. Then I'm going to check that the clamp is properly adjusted, and that's okay. And now, last but not least, we have to install the headlamp. That is now a different model, and it comes here with the screw pre-added and has an eye lock. So you are going to need two keys for this, a hex one and another one to fit here. Otherwise this eye lock will not go in or out easily. Then also we are going to install the front mudguard that has here a bracket. The bracket goes here and the screw that holds the headlamp goes there. Also it has this metal wire bracket or support or fixture that I'm going to cut, and these metal eyelets on each side are going to connect to these screws that are on the front suspension fork here. So you are going to take those out, you are going to put them through this and put all of that back together. So let's take this out of the plastic bag, and let's see, there are two ways of putting this. You can put it with the bracket on this part or on this part. I'm considering of putting it this way with the bracket beneath here because it looks better. Same goes with the headlamp. The headlamp can be put this way on the front part or actually on the rear part, so it looks like this. That's up to you, but consider also the adjusting angle for it. So this is mostly a design thing. After you install the screw here with the nut and the washers and the mudguard is in position, don't over tighten it up right now because it's good to have some play here and some movement, so you can easy also attach the lower parts of the bracket. This is straightforward. You just take the provided screw and washer out, put them through the eyelet of the bracket and install it. Also, like on the top part, don't overdo it here, just put it a bit to hold it, and also install it on the other part. Otherwise this metal wire is pretty solid and you might not be able to connect it on the other part. And it's now ready. You only need the keys that are here. Be sure to insert it underneath in the frame, in the battery, and turn the battery on. And now we should be able to turn this on. And there we go. It's on and it seems to be working. So now be sure to follow my next uploads where I'm going to take this, of course, outside, and I'm going to do a full review. And of course, I'm going to do other videos related to this e-bike. Until then, see you and bye bye.